Hello, everybody. It's Jessica Riverson from Permission to Charge Academy, and I'm here with Dallas Woodburn. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful mama. So, Dallas is here with us. We're so excited. You look radiant.
Thank you. You too.
So, yes, I am really, really excited about this interview. This is another one of our How She Did It interviews. I think these are so important because I know when I was starting out as a coach, and even now as a more advanced coach, I'm further along in my business, it's so important that I see other women who are growing their business. Like, how are they doing it? What's their mindset? What are their challenges? So that I can be inspired. And so I want to inspire all of you because I know that if I hadn't been inspired and if I wasn't currently being inspired by people who are further along the path than me, that it would be really hard for me to keep going and keep growing and build a bigger vision. So Dallas is here with us to share her recent success. I always say, like, the good, bad, the ugly, like the ups and downs, what it takes. And so we're going to dive in, Dallas, okay? I'm
Yeah.
going to pull up my notes too. Okay. Yes, I have some really good questions I want to make sure I ask. Okay, so let's just kind of start from the beginning. How did you find the Permission to Charge Academy? Like, how did our worlds align?
Yeah. And can you hear me okay with this microphone? Is
Yes,
that good?
absolutely.
I actually found you through your Facebook advertisement for your masterclass about how to create a signature 3 to 5K program. And I remember I was actually moving. I was moving out of this tiny apartment that my husband and I were sharing into our first little house that we were renting. And so I was packing all the time. And for some reason, I was just scrolling through Facebook and there was this radiant photo of you in this beautiful dress. And I'd been thinking about wanting to expand my business and start doing some coaching and programs for adults. And I'd even thought about, oh, that'd be so cool to have more of a program style instead of a trading dollars for hours style that I was doing at that time. And
Mm-hmm.
so it just felt like a message just for me when it said, how to create your signature program. And so I thought, I'm just going to register for this. And I had it on while I was packing. And I just felt such a connection to you right away. I think you just are so authentic and you're so real. And I loved how you were sharing your struggles in addition to how you found success. And so I signed up for a call right away, a discovery session. And yeah, it just seemed, and so by the time I had the discovery session, we had just moved into our new little house. And so it just seemed like the perfect little transition, a new start, a fresh start. And I just knew immediately that it was the right fit for me.
Oh, that's awesome. So you and I actually have something in common, which is you have a tutoring business. And if you
Mhm.
watch my webinar, you'll hear my story that I've had this tutoring franchise for 13 years. So when you and I spoke, it was like, okay, you can take this expertise and you can take this skill set and turn it into something else that's even more powerful. And that's really why I titled this, like, how she turned her expertise into a high-end group program and made over $10,000 in sales. So I want to get in the nitty-gritty. And actually, I do have to say, first I have to say this, how I feel when someone like you enrolls. I feel honored. I feel like you're a girl after my own heart. That's going to make me cry because it's like, it's a big deal to invest in one of our programs. It's a big deal to invest in yourself at a high level. And it takes a lot of guts, you know? I mean, I think you have
It
such a
does.
positive outlook and you were just like, I'm going to go for it. But that doesn't mean that it's an easy decision to make,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. I think it just felt right in my gut, from the beginning, from I mean, yours is the only Facebook ad still that I've ever clicked on.
Oh
And
my
it
God,
just
that's like a
felt, I
miracle.
know, it just felt right. And yeah, signing up, I mean, now that I've done some sales calls myself, the clients that I've had that are my ideal clients, it doesn't feel like on the sales call that I'm trying to convince them at all. It's like I tell them what I offer and they're just like, yes, this is exactly
I
what I
love
need. And I felt exactly that way with you. It was just like what I'd been searching for. And so, yeah, I mean, it just, my intuition was screaming at me to, sign up right away.
and that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it for sure. I love that. I love this story. So, okay, so I totally honor you. Just wanted to share that. That takes a lot of guts. And sometimes we get the intuition and we know something is right and we don't do it, right? Like we've all been in that situation where we don't follow it because we have so much fear that's like blocking that intuition. So again, I congratulate you for letting your intuition lead you. So let's like kind of get into the nitty gritty though. So you have this expertise with writing, you've been working with other people, kids, adults. I mean, you have the experience and you decided to come into the program and create a way to help people, especially entrepreneurs, but they don't necessarily have to be, but I know a lot of your clients are entrepreneurs who have a message inside them, who really want to get their book done, get it complete, like get it out there, get it launched in the world. And how many of us, I'm raising my hand here, how many of us have, had this book on our heart and not finished it? So you're helping them get that done in 90 days and like move forward with their message and stop like hiding it from the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's all, it's part of their legacy. And I think when you go through the program and we're thinking about pain points and what are some things that we can help people with, how to come from a place of service. And I realized that one of my pain points myself is it just breaks my heart when there are people who have a story to tell, who have this book inside of them and just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and maybe never write that book. And to me, that just breaks my heart because I think the world needs all of those stories and you have no idea the ripple effect that sharing your story will have on other people.
Yes.
So I was coming from a pain point of what is something that I can help people with, but also I think maybe it can be helpful for people listening to think about, is there something that you can help people with, but also that breaks your heart a little bit, a problem that you want to solve. And so you really helped me see that I have gifts inside of myself that I think I was maybe taking for granted a little bit. We talk about what is your soul superpower, and I realized that I'm really good at hearing the layers underneath people's stories, like what is the true message that they are trying to express. And I think a lot of times it's easy for people to get kind of caught up in the nitty gritties or the details, or how am I supposed to organize this, or I don't even know how to write a book, how do I start, and really beginning with the message. And I can help them see what their deeper message is, and then that gives them a sense of purpose to bring out into the world. And so I have had that gift, but I didn't even realize really that I had that until I enrolled in the program. So it's like you always say that we all have our own blind spots, but I think we also maybe have our own gifts that sometimes we take for granted, and it takes someone else, a coach, to look at us and say, I think this is a superpower that you have that you might not even realize that you have it.
Yes, I love that. It's so funny. You totally, like, that was like going to be my segue, and you just totally did the whole thing. So it's so perfect. Yeah, like that is a defining moment I remember with you is when you did the Meet Your Soul Superpower module, and then we figured out what it is and what a gift it is. And like you were able to see it and see the value of it and how that would be valuable in the marketplace and how it would help you express who you are and help other people express who they are. And you mentioned something really important about taking it for granted. At the beginning of the Permission to Charge Academy, I always tell people, this is a journey of you becoming a completely different person. And it's like, ooh, that's scary, but it's like a new version of you, and you're not going to recognize yourself at the end, because you're going to start to see your gifts and the value you have so differently. And the goal of the Academy, and I'm feel so happy that this is like a fact, right? Like, the goal is that we teach you how to create a signature program that sells for 3 to 5K. And pretty much every single person comes in and sells their program for at least $3,000 or more. And I know, you've priced your program in that range as well. And like, what was your experience with recognizing that? I mean, that's just your starting point, right? Like, it took me a few years to get to the point where I was charging over $3,000. And now, my clients are coming in, their first coaching client is a $3,000 program, because I'm helping them position the value. And I have to qualify and clarify this. We don't let people in the Academy, or I don't teach people to just randomly charge $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on anything. It has to be, solving a real problem for people. So it's, we're all assuming that this is an integrity. It's not about just like, oh, anybody can charge anything. Like, anyone can charge anything, yes. But we qualify people, make sure that what they're offering is value. So how was that for you to recognize, holy crap, I can actually charge in the range of $3,000 to $5,000, and your program is a high-end group, so it's not like full-on private coaching. So how was that? Had you ever even entertained the idea that you would have a group program that's only over $3,000, and you wouldn't have to give up all your one-on-one time?
Yeah, it was, it's amazing thinking back to when I signed up for the program. I remember thinking, okay, maybe if I can at least get like 2 clients, then that would, maybe at $2,500 each, maybe that would cover this investment. And I, with my husband too, we were saying just what I was going to learn, even if it seemed like this far off fantasy to think that I was going to even get 1 client, but that I was going to learn so much that it would still be worth it. And now I just have so much more confidence in my pricing and in the value that I deliver. So I think just focusing on, service to others, but also delivering the most value that you can, and seeing the results that my clients are getting already. So my program is 90 days, and my first client, hasn't been 90 days yet, but they're already making so much progress. And I see the change in them that I feel really, really comfortable with my prices. And one thing I've noticed too is, I don't know if it's from coming from more of a tutoring background where my pricing was a little bit more, trading dollars for hours. I worked a lot with kids, and I sort of felt sometimes like I wasn't always respected for what I was offering. A lot of parents would try to haggle with me with pricing, and sometimes I would feel like, oh, am I, charging too much? Or sometimes would feel almost more like, babysitting, like I'm sitting here for another half an hour to fill up this time. Whereas now I just I see myself as a CEO of my business. And
yes.
I see the value that I'm providing. And I feel like just the way that I see myself, and just the way that I move through the world, the way I value my time and that I value my expertise, it's just totally shifted. And so that has been huge. And especially like you alluded earlier, I have a little baby on the way. And so I know that when she is born, it'll be my first, that I'm gonna have less time than ever to focus on work in my business. And so I think a really big gift of the Academy was transforming the way that I see my time. And like you always say, that if you're solving a problem, it doesn't matter necessarily how long it takes you to do that. We just want to deliver the results of solving the problem. So that's been huge for me. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And to be able to put all your expertise in a curriculum and still deliver value to your clients, like make sure they're getting the results, but that it's not dependent on all of your one-on-one time. Of course, we do work, we put time into the academy, you put time into your version of the academy, of course, but it's so much more leverage than private coaching. And we find that people are getting better results anyway. So do you find that now that you've got 3 people in the program, do you find that it's enhanced the experience to have a few people in there going through the same thing at once?
Yeah, one thing I really learned is that, I mean, I already knew this theoretically, but just seeing it in action, that everyone has their own style and also their own roadblocks that they face. So I think people can learn from each other a lot. And, so one person might really be struggling with a certain aspect of their book, whereas for someone else, that comes more naturally. And so in addition to me being able to help, having people that are part of the program be able to offer suggestions or feedback and help each other, I think is really great. And I'm also learning too that I think when I first started, I was envisioning people seeing more value the more time that I was providing, but actually it's more value the quicker I can solve their problem. I mean, my clients are busy. They're busy people. They're entrepreneurs. They're running their own business. And so if I can get on the phone with them for 15 minutes and help them have a breakthrough, that is actually more valuable to them than if we sit on the phone for an hour and have the same breakthrough.
Yes. Ooh, that's a huge shift.
Yeah.
That's huge. I love that. Okay, I want to know, this is always my favorite question for the married ladies, how has your husband, I mean, he's been super supportive and was go for it, honey, which is awesome. But what has his response been? You started this business and in the first month, you're yeah, I did over 10K in sales. What is his response to that?
Yeah, he's been super blown away. He's so excited. And yeah, he was so supportive. And we actually joke now because he has an MBA. He spent 2 years. He wanted to make a career change. And so he went back to school and got his MBA. And it was pretty expensive and it took a lot of time. And he jokes with me saying, if only I would have known, I just had to enroll in the academy and I could have learned all of this, in 10 weeks for a fraction of the cost. He was just amazed. A lot of the stuff that you teach us, like the target market research and just thinking about marketing and your program and all of that were very much what he did in business school. So I know he was really impressed coming from that background with the quality and the caliber of the material that we were learning. And
that makes me feel really honored because I don't have an MBA, so that's actually really cool.
Yeah, you should. It's a huge, I mean, he's been super impressed. And it's been fun to kind of be able to talk with him with business terms, throw around ROI. And yeah, it's been fun for me to have that now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I remember before I enrolled in the academy, we were talking about starting a family. I hadn't had that positive pregnancy test yet, but it was sort of, we were planning to take that step. And so we were thinking about, that I was going to have to take time off work and looking at our budget and all of this. And so now it's just really nice that we don't have as much as a concern. I'm still planning to take some time off when the baby's born, but it's not oh my gosh, how are we going to make ends meet? Because I feel so confident in my ability to bring in money for our family. So that's been really huge too. And he just, he's so proud of me. And I feel like he was impressed by me before, but now he's really just go get him. And he's not surprised anymore when I tell him that I got a new client. He's just of course you did, so he's, it's been fun to see the way that he is really proud of me.
Yeah, and when you're your next level, I mean, your first level and your first month has been so awesome that it's going to be your next level is going to be okay, honey, I just had a 20K month or I just had a 30K month. And so I remember I told you when you enrolled, I was I have a colleague who does this, who helps people write their books, and it's $1 million business. So you now have the basis and foundation of a business model that's totally scalable. And, there could be things required, maybe having a few more team members, some admin members, even a salesperson, or, there's different ways to scale a business. And we get more into that in the mastermind, which is after the academy. But where was I going to say? Well, there was something I was going to say with this. Where do you, where do you see yourself taking this business? Does it scare you to go really big? Are you feeling like, yeah, I can kind of lean into that and grow into that? What do you see?
Yeah, I would love to lean into that. I mean, I think I still have so much to learn. I'm learning so much all the time, from you and Kwaku and the team and other coaches in the program. They've been so inspiring to me, like you were talking at the beginning, just to see that it can be done and see other people do it. And so, yeah, I mean, I think my favorite part of the business is the coaching aspect. So being able to talk with someone and really help them have that breakthrough, see them transform from really writing to actually loving it and feeling really confident in themselves. And so that is where I would love moving forward to just focus more and more of my energy. And so I'm really excited to learn more about, how to scale, and how I've always been just by myself, a solopreneur. And so I think it's going to be a big step for me to bring on other team members. And it might be a little scary to give up some of that control, but I think it's definitely, the next step that I'm looking towards.
Yes. Well, we can't wait to help you with that. And it is a beautiful thing that, you're having your baby. And we had done someone in our mastermind, Renessa, we had done a case study with her, and she went into the academy and then into the mastermind. And she basically went from starting her business, her coaching business, to 6 figures in by November, so it was
Wow.
January. It's 11 months, and she just has been on maternity leave for a few months and is now coming back. And that has been that's why I'm just so passionate about this, because when I had my daughter Etta, who's 4.5 right now, I did not take a maternity leave because I was hustling so hard, and I was doing things in a way that was really depleting me because I thought I had to. And I thought I had to kind of be a slave to the clients and a slave to the business and please everybody, and then do all these things and all these extra things that we think we have to do. And it was really hard for me, and I remember 3 days after having her, sitting on one of those donut things.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is soon. You're sitting on this donut thing, this donut pillow, and I'm on the phone. And I was very grateful in many ways that I can just go down the hall, get on the phone, and when I'm done, I can go breastfeed my baby. And that was I was very grateful for that. But I was in that room for a good 8 hours, and I would only pop out to go to the bathroom or breastfeed the baby. And I really wasn't having the time with her that I wanted. So it is really an amazing thing to help people like you, amazing coaches like you, grow their business and learn ways to do it different than kind of how I got started, right? And start off by honoring, we talk a lot in the program, masculine, feminine energy, being able to honor that feminine side of you, that's the creative, that's the intuition, and not burning out in the other side, which is the toxic masculine, right? Where it's just work. And just to see someone who's starting their business off kind of what I would say on the right foot, where they're understanding their value, they've created something that's leveraged. And the cool thing about what you have going on is over 10K in sales with 3 clients. So yes, you have to consistently market to consistently have clients. That is true. Mm-hmm. But it's you don't need to push so hard just to create a great 6-figure business, and then you can grow and scale from there. And it allows you to reinvest in your business when you can kind of right off the bat make a good profit,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I'm really happy about that. I think people want to know, who are listening, how have you, so, okay, let me just back up for a second. In the academy, we teach on organic traffic, meaning using social media, tapping into your warm audience, even turning your target market research people into clients. So we teach you like free ways, organic traffic ways, to really build your online brand and get yourself out there. And we also teach, speaking I mean, that's our main thing, is that the fact that speaking, whether it's on a webinar or live, can bring you endless amounts of clients. And so then so that's like one side of it. Those are all free things. Typically, it doesn't cost money to do those things. And then we teach the online side, which is, how do you use Facebook ads to run webinars and, get more people into your funnel, onto your email list, get people watching your webinar and just automatically booking on your calendar while you're sleeping. And what we find is in the academy, some people come in, they're like, boom, Facebook ads right away. And then other people, a lot of people, they don't go to Facebook ads first, because I like to say, look, make some high-end program sales and then take a portion of that and reinvest it into Facebook ads. And some people, they're just like chomping at the bit from the beginning. They're like, no, I'm ready to invest in ads now. And then other people are like, yeah, I like that plan. I'm going to get some clients first and then I'll reinvest. And it's not to say that anybody has to do Facebook ads. We have even people in our mastermind that don't do Facebook ads. And Renessa's a good example of someone who all of her, that 6-figure business that she's created comes from speaking. So I think what people want to know, because I always hear this, there's like, Dallas, how did you get these clients? And I think you attracted these clients in a unique way using your gifts. So would you just share, because like all coaches are just like, how do you get clients, right? Like that's one of the main challenges for coaches.
Yeah, that is such a great question. And I remember before I got my first client, I had that same thought of just like, how am I going to reach anybody? And for me, well, my brother and my husband tease me that I'm like super good at, I don't know, like Facebook stalking or internet stalking people. And so I really use those gifts with finding clients. So I think just not being afraid to reach out to people. So for example, there are a few people whose blogs I've read for a while that I've just like really enjoyed their writing style. And I've noticed, they have these blogs and they seem to have a message to share, but they don't have a book yet. And so I think when I first started the academy, I would have thought, I remember you and I had the conversation and you were asking me about my ideal client. And we were talking about, what if Brene Brown came into a coffee shop, and me being able to go up to her and talk to her about my program. And it just seemed so out of reach. And as I moved through the academy and I really started getting my program down and gaining confidence and working through blocks with Kwaku, I realized, these are some people that I feel like they would be wonderful. They'd be like my ideal clients. I'm just going to reach out to them. And so I think being genuine has really helped me a lot. So actually reaching out to people whose blogs I've read, whose writing I've read, it's not just like a mass email I'm sending to everyone, has really helped me. So one of my clients, she's actually a woman who lives in Australia. And I came across her blog and her website when she writes about postpartum depression issues and stuff with pregnancy. And so she was one of my favorite pregnancy blogs. And I just thought, what do I have to lose? I'm just going to send her an email, letting her know what I love about her blog, and just tell her what my program is and say, if you ever think of writing a book, I would love to help you with that. And she got back within, a day saying, oh my gosh, I've been really wanting to write a book. Like the past 2 days, I've been thinking I need a new project, and you just came into my lap. It was like you were sent from the universe. And so I just feel like being in alignment with who your ideal client is and what you can offer, and not counting yourself out, not saying, oh, they wouldn't be interested in my program, or like, oh, they have too big of a following, they don't need my help, or things like that, has really been helpful for me. And then already I've gotten, like, one of my clients is a referral from a friend slash business acquaintance of mine. And so I think just when, like you always talk about, really providing that value, that people are going to be impressed by what you're offering, and they're going to start talking about you to other people. And so I've noticed that when I have ideal clients, I can usually tell right away in a discovery session that, oh, these are like one of my people. And I've had some other clients that I feel like, I don't know, maybe I've been reaching for them more, or like trying to get them that I can just tell, oh, I don't, either they're not ready for this program or we're just not connecting in that same way. And so I think going after for the people that you really feel that connection with, that you think, yes, this is my ideal person. So I'd rather have, I have like actually have 4 clients now that are my ideals,
Oh,
as opposed to
awesome.
having like 10 where some of them I'm like, I don't think this person really wants what I'm offering.
Cool. Wow. So you have 4 clients now. That's exciting.
Yeah, and the fourth one I can share, she was my fourth grade teacher. So she saw what I was posting on Facebook about my program and she signed up. So you never know where they're going to come from.
You have to share your message online. I mean, if you say you want to be an online coach and attract clients online, got to show up and do the work. And, you have this gift of writing, so that really lends itself to posting on Facebook and things like that. What have we taught you that's helped you? I mean, you're already a writer and have that skill, but is there anything that we've taught you in terms of messaging and copy that's helped you reach people better?
Oh, so much. I mean, I think being really specific has helped me a lot. And I never would have known. I love when I'm writing or when I'm reading things, I love personal stories, but I wouldn't have thought of using that in marketing. So, really trying to connect with the audience with personal stories, either from me or from my clients. And one thing that you've taught me that I actually share with my clients when they talk about sometimes feeling like they're just writing about the same themes over and over in their books, is I say, like you have taught me that sometimes you will feel that way. Like if you have this strong message that you're sharing, you might feel like you're just sharing it over and over and over again with your marketing, but that is how you actually get through to people and how you reach people and how they start to know you for something. So I think before the academy, I would have thought, oh, I have to think of a completely different things to share every day
Every
with
day, think of
marketing.
something different.
Yeah, which is overwhelming and I think not effective at all. And so that has been a huge breakthrough for me. And yeah, I think it's also just solidified for me that business writing or marketing writing is not that different from the other writing that I like to do. So the things that I'm attracted to when I'm reading, even like fiction, it's usually personal stories, and that is true with marketing. It doesn't have to be this big scary thing. It can be similar to what
It can
attracts
just be like
people.
self-expression, right? Like marketing is just
Yeah.
like self-expression. That's amazing. Is there anyone on the team you want to shout out to? Because we have, I always feel like I got to give credit to everybody. So, we have Ben, our Facebook ads god, as we call him. We have McKenna, our copy goddess. We have Kwaku, our sales and mindset god. There's me, obviously. Is there anyone you want to give kudos to, or anyone you want to
Yeah.
shout out?
Well, I mean, everyone, I feel like I love your team because I feel like everyone brings they have their own unique gifts that they bring to the table to help you. Krisha is actually who signed me up, who enrolled me in the program originally. So I want to give her a shout out for just her authenticity. I felt a connection with her right away. And then, you've helped me so much just with finding my soul superpower. And I've just felt such a connection with you from the beginning. And I always feel like you get my business and you get what I'm trying to do. And then Kwaku, I mean, I think with the whole mindset stuff, like I didn't really realize that I had certain mindset issues before I enrolled in the academy, and just working through some blocks with confidence. And I feel so much more open to the universe now, and just it being a place of abundance, and really getting that energy out there has been just, it makes me feel so much more empowered. I haven't really delved into Facebook ads too much yet, but I'm really excited to work more with Ben. And then McKenna is just such a genius with phrasing things exactly the right way. So the title of my program is Your Book Breakthrough. And I had originally a lot of different titles that I was trying to come up with And she really helped me narrow down on that one. And my program is the 90-day book breakthrough program. And I've had a lot of people tell me, "Ooh, I love the title of that." And McKenna was really helpful for me to be like, yes, this is your title. This is the one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how people come into the academy. I mean, we do have people coming in who already have a brand and a business, but we also have people like you who are basically, you come in and you have like, you had your other business, but like this business didn't exist. It's like, so you're coming up with like the whole brand concept, what the signature program is, like what the core offer is. QuakeU helps you like how to make the offer on the phone to someone, how like literally what to say and how to say it. And even, looking at your whole program and the title and the subtitle and, creating a signature talk and, what the talk should say and how you can, deliver a presentation and what goes on every slide that's going to kind of like warm people up and bring them in and have them be like, oh my gosh, I need to work with her. So it is a great team. And, it takes a great client though, to get the most out of it. So I want to give you an opportunity to just tell everyone how they can work with you to have their 90-day book breakthrough and get their book and their message out into the world and stop putting it off. How do we
stop procrastinating? Yeah. So my website is yourbookbreakthrough.com. And I also have a free masterclass, which is at bookbreakthroughmasterclass.com. That will give you my five steps to writing your book in 90 days. And yeah, I'm on Facebook at Dallas Woodburn Writer and Instagram at Dallas Woodburn Author. So yeah, I would love to connect with you. I'm really trying to fill up my my client docket through August. So my baby is due November 30th. And so I was looking at the calendar and thought, okay, 90 days. I think, I'm planning to take all of December off with the baby. Nice. And so August is kind of a little deadline to sign up with me to get your book written by my due date. So yeah, I would love if you're interested, get in touch.
New Year's present. So tell me your links again. I'm going to put them right here. Is it yourbookbreakthrough.com?
Yourbookbreakthrough.com.
And what's the one where we can hear your free training? What's that?
Yeah, that's at bookbreakthroughmasterclass.com.
You see how smart our clients are? They've got the domains. They're sending you presentation. They've got it together.
You help with all of it. And I just wanted to say also briefly, before I signed up for the Academy, I knew that I would be getting a lot of time with you, like the 3 weekly calls. And one thing I've been really impressed with is I didn't realize I'd be getting so much attention to detail. So you really show that in a group coaching program, you can still give that individual detail and attention, whether it's going through every single slide, like you said, of my webinar, or, sitting down with me and over the phone and looking at the exact wording of my Facebook ad that I'm working on, or my lead pages. I mean, I think I've just been really blown away by like the individual attention that I feel like I get from you guys. So I just wanted to give a little kudos to you for that.
Thank you. I know we give an insane level of attention to detail, but that's sort of like the control freak in me. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And that's why we do have the team. Like basically in the 10 weeks, mostly me, but if not me, someone on our team has their brain and their eyeballs on literally every single thing you do in every word you write. Someone's looking at it and going, okay, here's how we could tweak it. Here's how we could change it. Or just like every little thing you're doing, every decision you make in building this business, someone with expertise is coaching you on it. And so thank you for saying that, because I'm like really I'm celebrating you celebrating us, because I do have to take a moment sometimes and go, you're doing a kick-ass job. And like it feels good. So thank you for saying that, because I'm just
thank you.
Compliment right now. And we often, like you were saying, we often take our expertise for granted, and we don't just stop and go, you know what? Thank you. So I appreciate that. I receive it. And I'm sure your clients are feeling the exact same way, that you are serving them amazingly and they're getting amazing results. So you guys, if there's a book that you have in your heart and you want to get it out and you want it to be like a New Year's or holiday present to yourself, Dallas is your woman to help you get that done. You can see just from her energy and her vibe that she helps you feel safe and comfortable and like giving yourself permission just to allow the message to flow through. And it really is her gift to hear what you're not saying. So the reason why you're frustrated with your book is because you feel like you're not getting the right words out, or it's just like not coming out right, or you're stuck. And she really can talk to you and coach you and hear what's really there, what really wants to be birthed through that book. And I think that's such an amazing, beautiful gift that you have for the world. So I hope a lot of you take advantage of checking out her free masterclass, which is her free training, going straight to her page and getting on her calendar and having a conversation. Thank you for being here and telling us how you did this. And we are excited that we get to continue to work with you. The sky's the limit for you, Dallas. So it's fun to be a part of.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for being here. Bye, everyone, for watching, or bye, everyone who's watching. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.